One day, Destiny was laying in bed, as she does for hours when she was reading a book, and suddenly got an ick, and a visible one too. An idea then sprung into her head. She felt so strongly she looked for a way to convey these emotions, and as she looked to her computer for answers, she found one obvious one. She had to tier rank them, and so she did. And she decided to upload the videos to YouTube, and you have clicked on it. You have decided to watch the video, so enjoy while you can.
Hello everybody and welcome to a new video. I am hoping that you guys are going to enjoy it. We are doing a little twist on the book Icks. I did a book Ick video like a few months ago. How is it raining and it's sunny? I did the book Icks video a few months ago, and in it I just kind of talked about them, and I thought it would be a little bit more fun to spice it up and do a little good fashion tier ranking video. And if you're wondering why we're filming over here, one, it's a nice change of scenery, it's a nice change of pace, the lighting is good over here, and it is also because, hey, what are you doing here? I heard that you can't get out of bed. Is it because of today's sponsor, which is Helix? I mean, yeah, but what are you doing here? Well, I'm here to talk about today's sponsor, which is Helix. Isn't that my job? Isn't this my YouTube channel? Not anymore. What's that supposed to mean? Hello guys. Lately I've been having some of the best sleep of my life, and that is thanks to today's sponsor, which is none other than Helix. I wanted to tell you guys a secret. I know nothing about mattresses. Shocking, I know. The only thing I know about mattresses is the fear of fiberglass in mattresses. I know a lot of you guys probably saw that girl's TikTok that came up on your For You page about her mattress having fiberglass and how dangerous that is for you. But guess what? With Helix mattresses, you don't have to worry about that because they are fiberglass free. And my severe lack of knowledge when it comes to mattresses didn't matter because Helix just asked me to do a fun little quick quiz on their website where they basically asked me about my sleep patterns, my sleep preferences, and my body type. It's quick, easy, and fun to take. It literally took not even a minute, and they matched me with the Helix Sunset mattress. It has a 2 to 3 on the firmness scale because I sleep a lot on my side, so I need a little bit more firmness to support my body when I sleep on my side in the middle of the night. So I've had this mattress for quite a few sleeps now, and let me tell you that it is absolutely amazing. Okay, I used to think, yeah, a mattress is a mattress, but after sleeping on a Helix, I will never say that again. Imagine if I just kept my bed over here. It's literally so simple. You don't have to go into a store or anything. You just go on Helix's website, you take the quiz, you get matched with the best mattress for you, you order it, and there's free US shipping, by the way, so take advantage of that. And then it gets delivered to your front doorstep, and all you have to do is put it into your room, carry it up the steps if you've got some, undo the packaging, and just let it sit out in the open. It literally undoes itself. It's actually a pretty cool thing to watch. I was actually kind of like entranced when I was watching it, and Charlie was very excited. She hasn't got off of this thing since I have put it in my room. She has kept on laying on it. Like, I right now have two beds. I have two beds right now, and she's choosing to sleep on this one. So if you don't trust what I'm saying, you should trust what Charlie's saying. And you guys get a 100-night sleep trial. This way you can test out the mattress and make sure that you love it. Helix mattresses also include a 10-year warranty, and they have flexible payment plans and financing options. You guys can visit helixsleep.com/DestinySidwell to get 20% off your first Helix mattress plus 2 free pillows. Yeah, these bad boys back here, I also got 2 free pillows. Thank you so much to Helix for not only helping my sleep with this brand new amazing mattress, but also for sponsoring today's video. And I guess I'll let Destiny have the mic back now. Okay, well, that was really weird, but I'm trying to act like that didn't happen. Okay, guys, so welcome back to the video. I know, things are getting a little weird around here. Okay, Halloween's around the corner, don't question it. So we're gonna sit down, we're gonna have a little chitty chat about book Icks today. So if you guys don't know what it is what I am self-defining as. Sorry, can you hear my earrings? I am self-defining book Icks as when you get the ick. I don't know, an ick is just an ick, okay? Like, it icks me out, like, ew, that's gross, you know, type of thing. And so a book ick is like, I literally can't, and I have to close the book, and I cringe so hard when a book has this specific thing. The last time I did a video talking about book Icks, I was like, you know what? I just need to like identify what I forgot what I was saying? It's like there are tiers to it, and that's why we're tier ranking today, because there are tiers to everything, especially when it comes to like opinions. So I thought instead of just like sitting and talking to the camera about it, that I would tier rank them. So that's what we're doing today. Okay, thank you so much. You guys are welcome for explaining a very simple thing to you. Okay, let's get into it. So first of all, as always, I will talk about the tiers. We're going to start from top to bottom. So top is actually, the first one is I actually like this. So this is like something where it's like, you know what, this isn't an ick to me. I actually really like it. Second one down, okay, not that bad. Like, am I probably going to do one of the winces? Like, I'm going to go, but it's not like a, yeah. And then we have okay, kind of bad, where it's like, okay, yeah, I can see where this is a little, yeah. And then we have why do we do this? This is when an author writes something and I don't really understand the inner workings of their brain well enough to understand why you would ever put something like this into a book. And then we have the bottom tier where it's do not ever speak about this to me, where this is when I read something in a book and I genuinely, as a response, will delete it. I will Control-Alt-Delete it from my brain and act like it never happened. And if you try to bring it up, I will literally act like it never happened because it is so insanely book traumatic to me. Let's get into it, shall we? Okay, I didn't realize how small these were. First of all, we have half covers. I'm going to say, why do we do this? And I do feel that strongly over this because I don't understand. So basically half covers are like when you have a cover and it doesn't fully meet the edge of the book. It like is like a third away from meeting the edge of the book, and it has like a little strip of like something. Publishing companies, bookmakers, whatever you want to call them, do this. It is the most infuriating thing, especially since I do love to like take a paperback book and like bend it and hold it like this. Like I like to like, you know, bend it and hold it like this. I can't do it with those, and they're just not like, whenever I'm like holding one up, I'm like, why is the cover not meeting? Why is the cover not meeting? Like that's all that I'm thinking about. Even like the design choice behind it, I don't understand. Maybe one of you guys will explain it to me in the comments, I'm sure. When he calls her the B word, do not ever speak about this to me, because here's the thing though, I usually, when I've seen like this does happen, I can't not remember it because it has literally angered me so much. I don't understand, and I know a lot of the times maybe an author will do this, and I guess this is specifically, at least I'm speaking specifically about like when it's the love interest of the book and he just outwardly calls her the B word. Like I tried to start a book the other day on Kindle. It was on Kindle Unlimited, and literally he was just degrading her, calling her the B word. Like this isn't enemies to lovers by just degrading her. I'm sorry, what? Like if I found out that a guy, or like I was talking to a guy and they just called me the B word, just straight up, ask me if I would ever be talking to them again. Just that word specifically too, as a woman, is so triggering, and it's just very triggering to read that too. It's like, why would you do this? I understand maybe sometimes an author will like say they have an ex-boyfriend that's in the story and the ex-boyfriend does it because you want to hate him. Exactly. So I don't understand like when authors have the love interest say the B word. It's like, you know, we're going to hate him. You know that we aren't going to like this guy. When the most powerful character loses her why do we do this? And the only reason that's not getting put in the low tier is because I understand that like there's a plot point for it. Y'all, let me tell you why this just grinds my gears so bad when a main character loses their powers. Because specifically in a fantasy book, if I have spent the whole entire series, hundreds and hundreds of pages, learning about you using your powers, learning to be strong with your powers, learning how to like wield them, how they're amazing and world saving, and then I've read through hundreds, maybe even 1,000 plus of pages, okay, maybe even thousands of pages, and then you make the character lose the powers that you spent the whole entire series building up. And I twitch. Genuinely, I know some of y'all know what book series I'm talking about. Also makes me mad because like I can understand why the author chose to do it, but it's like, no, I don't, on the other hand, because I feel like you could have got the same exact message across and not taken away the powers. Too many pop culture references. I'm gonna put this in okay, kinda bad, because does this annoy me? Yeah, okay, like when it feels like they're just trying to like take as much pop culture in as they can. Like whenever the Kardashians, I've read a few rom-coms and they talk about the Kardashians, just stop. I'll stop you right there. You can say like, let's watch some reality TV or whatever, or when it just anything pop culture referencey, like too much of it, like sometimes it's fine. I'm like, oh, that's kind of funny. It's just annoying, okay? Because I read these books to escape reality. I want to act like in this reality these things don't really happen. Starting a book in one of the MCs already has a student. Why do we do this? Why do we okay, literally, I hate it because it's just used as a plot point, and I've read so many books where it's like, okay, they'll have one of the main characters have a significant other, and they purposely like make the significant other terrible, and it's like fine because it's like we haven't known them to be anything better, so it's like, okay, whatever, they're terrible. Still don't get why you wrote them having like a boyfriend or slash girlfriend or whatever, because it just doesn't make sense. Just make them single. Just make them single. When someone says you're mine, ACOTAR is the only exception. I will say, even in ACOTAR, this wasn't a great thing. Okay, not that bad, because it's like not, honestly, it's something that I will like mindlessly scroll over when someone does bring to my attention and being like, you're mine, like they said that, I'm like, oh, they said that, oh, they said that. I ignore that because I don't like that. Even in fantasy books, like, okay, in fantasy books, sometimes not, I think maybe it's not like when you tell them like you're mine. I like it more when it's like a character conflict and it's like, she's mine, but not in a like really alpha, like I'm very like toxic and like not letting her be her own woman type of way, but in a like I am trying to protect her, I need you to back up type of way. It's a very specific, I'm very specific with it. I'm very, very, very specific, but I don't like the ownership of telling a woman in any type of thing like you're mine. It's like, no. The brothers trope, it's just, I'm going to put it in why do we do this? And this is specifically like when there's a love triangle and it's with like two brothers. And it's like, why? Because listen, she's going to end up with one of them. Okay, we're living in a book. Like, yeah, she's going to end up with one of them. And maybe I'm just thinking too much about it. But like, can you imagine like years down the road, like they have kids and you have to like explain to your kids, or your kids get told at some point, even if you don't want to tell them, like, yeah, your mom dated him for a while and then dated him. It just doesn't make very much sense. Like, can you imagine how awkward family reunions would be? Or like Christmases or like Thanksgivings? Especially since most of the time the brothers like aren't in a bad way by the end of the series. And it's like, how do we go about this as a family? I just feel like there would be a lot of tension. When the guy is rude to the girl when the guy is rude to the girl throughout the whole entire book, but then blames it on trauma. I'm going to put this in okay, kind of bad, because I feel like this is another thing that I'm like, oh, of course, you know, like I'm like, oh, of course, that's what it was. And I can also feel like you can feel that the author's going to do that the whole entire time. Like when a character is described as like, he's closed off and I can tell this has happened and this has happened and he's like rude to her because of this, which it's like some people, yeah, I don't know. It just doesn't bother me that much. Saying, OMG, did I really say that out loud after obviously saying it out loud? No, because why do we do that? Why is this something that happens entirely too much in books? Can we talk about it actually? I have never, ever in my life been like having a conversation with somebody and been thinking something internally and then say it and then not realize that I said it, and then look at them on top of everything and be like, did I just say that out loud? Or like, okay, I've done one of these where it's like, like I'm talking to myself and they're like, what? And I'm like, oh, sorry, I wasn't trying to like talk out loud, I was just kind of like talking to myself. Like I've done one of those, but like you guys know in books when they're like, oh man, like he looks so great, and he's like laughs and she's like, oh my god, did I just say that out loud? Like maybe it's like a recovery tactic, like let me gain some control of the situation here. I was about to say this doesn't happen in everyday life, but like, yeah, isn't that why we read fiction? In romance, when the guy in his point of view talks so much about the woman's body, why do we do this? Because I become so aware of it. There's something different than like, okay, maybe if you have like a little bit of him, like you want to see how he views her in his point of view, but then at some point it feels like objectifying a lot. Not even just be like, oh, I noticed that she looks great today, or like I'm noticing this about her. It's like talking about her body and like how her body looks and da da da. Like you can talk about the beauty of somebody with not having to discuss their body. And also that is something that is triggering to me when they go into excessive detail. It is so triggering. But yeah, why do we do this? It's like, it's different than to describe somebody. Okay, you're describing the character, whatever. Keep it bland. We don't need to keep like focusing in. You know what I mean? I don't know if I'm conveying this right of what I'm trying to say. But it's just when it feels like objectifying versus appreciation, and there is a fine line, and you do walk it a lot. And the author mentioned social media. Why do we do this? You guys know this is like my biggest bookish pet peeve, is like especially TikTok, since TikTok is like the biggest social media app I feel right now. And this usually happens in YA books. It doesn't happen a lot in like adult books, because obviously like young adults are who is more predominantly on TikTok. I mean, all age groups are on TikTok, but you guys know what I mean. Like, especially in young adult books, the authors are trying to cater and relate to a younger audience, so they feel like they have to talk about TikTok. It's kind of how I see it in my brain. Maybe this doesn't bother like younger people or even other people. I mean, I'm only 20. Why am I like aging myself? Like, no, I'm only 20. I just don't like it, and I just don't want to talk about TikTok in this book. Talk of past exes. I'm gonna say not that bad, because usually there's a purpose to it, but I will say the only time I get annoyed is like, I mean, all of it is a plot device though. When it feels too much, or it's very just like annoying, like the ex keeps popping up just like as a point of conflict, like there's nothing else other than just like, I kind of want a conflict right now. Like, we've gone a few chapters without some drama, so let's add some drama. Then I'm a little bit like eye roll, but like I'm like, it's fine, or like I'm a little annoyed, but I'm not like annoyed at the author, just like annoyed at the situation. Cringy pet names. I'm gonna say again, okay, not that bad, because listen, like I feel like sometimes maybe it's just a response, I don't know, my brain just kind of like blocks out certain things. So the cringy pet name stuff, like it has to be so bad. Let me think of a nickname. It has to be like Poopy Poo. Of course, my brain went to like, why did my brain go there? Yeah, it has to be something like that. Or like honeysuckle pumpkin something, you know, like, I mean, those are all, I don't know. It just has to be extremely, extremely bad for it to get on my nerves. Oh, wait. Let me say this. The only time a nickname thing has ever caught me, and it wasn't like me being annoyed, it was just me thinking that it was funny, is how I look at it. I don't get annoyed or like dislike it. It's just that I think it's so funny and I can't take it seriously. Like in Saving and Redeeming Six, the nickname for her is Queen. And you know, like nowadays we use Queen as like, you know, like, oh, pop off Queen, slay Queen. Yeah, like whatever, Queen, you know. And so him saying it as like a term of endearment, like I'm trying to imagine like how whenever I talk to people, okay love, like okay love, oh yeah, okay, yeah, no, you're good love, like, you know, I am trying to imagine like, okay Queen, like I can't even say it without it being okay Queen, like that's just how I imagine it. Like I can't be like, I love you Queen. Like, you know, it just sounds so like how we have taken that and like turned it into something. So when I was reading that book, that was something that happened. But other than that, like I said, it's more of like a funny thing. Like I laugh. Like I can't believe that you're in the middle of this and like calling her like Poopy Bear or something. Water damage. Oh yeah. Do not ever speak about this to me. Like when your book, like when you drop a book in a body of water, whether that's like a bath or like you spilled water on it and it's got that crinkliness to it, and now the cover's messed up and the pages are all wavy. I had a book that I just straight up had to like throw away, and it pained me. I was like laying outside and I was sitting in my kiddie pool and I dropped the book. It fell off my leg and the whole entire thing was submerged in water, and I genuinely panicked, and it took me like 10 seconds to pick it up because I was panicking. My brain literally wired, because I was like, oh my god, I can't believe that this is literally in the water right now. What am I supposed to do? Like I was freaking out. Still makes me emotional to think about. So we've got to move on from that one. Weird time jumps with no context of what happened. Yeah. Why do we do this? This happened to me, I think, last month when I was reading a book. Or like when it'll be like, oh, it's been 4 weeks and like we're doing good. Like when all of a sudden like maybe they're butting heads and it's like, okay, it's been 4 weeks. Like sometimes it's like, okay, yeah, let's like progress the story. I don't really need like a play-by-play of what happened. I'm gonna put this in not that bad, because it's just like a specific amount. It's a specific amount of times when something does that to me, and it has to be specific. Like say that there's like a conflict and then all of a sudden it just time jumps and it's like, yeah, we've been fine for like 3 weeks, like we got over it, like we talked about it, but it's like, where was that talk? You guys I needed to see that argument. I needed to be in your business. Why did we just skip that? But most of the time, like I was reading a book the other day and it was like, everything's going good, and it's like, oh yeah, it's been a month and like this has been happening, but now we're doing this, and it's like, yeah, because I do want the story to progress. Step sibling dating, don't ever speak to me about this. Listen, I'm never going to yuck somebody's yum. I don't really care what other people read, but for me, as soon as I pick up a book, I read, what was it? Underneath the Sycamore Tree, and I picked that up for like reading sad books video last year, and I didn't know like anything about it. I just knew that people thought it was really sad, and then when I figured out that the romance was with the step brother. And I know that the whole entire thing is like, they're not really related enough. Your parents are married. Yeah, I can't do that. When a tiny miscommunication ruins everything, don't. Can we not talk about it? But I will end up talking about it because I'll rant about it. This is usually the third act breakup thing that authors do, and I still need to get to the bottom of it, whether or not it's like an author's choice or like maybe a editor or somebody has been like, hey, maybe you should throw in a third act conflict there. Sometimes third act conflict is fine. If it's like you can tell it's been building up the whole entire book, but not an annoying, like somebody was keeping a secret way. There was something else going on over here that maybe like has caused some things to shift for a little bit, but not break up, just there'd be like a third act conflict, okay? But usually a third act breakup is because maybe the whole entire book you know subconsciously that this other character has been lying about something. So you know there's going to be a third act breakup because they're going to find out and they're going to be betrayed and they're going to break up and it's all going to be awry for no reason. It's so annoying. Super large paperbacks. I actually really like this because I bought The Last Word by Taylor Adams, and it is a very big paperback with a very big font, and I had a very, very good time reading it. I love a big paperback that's floppy, with big text, like big font. God, I love that. When the author puts a playlist at the start of the book, I actually like those. Like, I like it because I do like to listen to music sometimes when I'm reading a book. Like, if I just need a little something in the background, but I don't want to watch a show. And I like it because I know that when the author is writing the book, like all of the vibes of this song add to the story. So I like it. And I understand that maybe some people won't like it because they want to like listen to their own music, vibe their own story. But I really like it, especially like when you look up playlists on Spotify. But when an author themselves has curated a playlist, so you understand like when you were listening to this song, you're like, yeah, this was an inspiration for this. This was an inspiration for that. Like it has the general vibe. Bad outfits. I'm going to say not that bad because I have this skill where when I read a book and the character has a bad outfit, or what I would deem as like a bad outfit, or maybe it's a dated outfit, like the book is from like 2012 and she's wearing like a skater skirt or like galaxy leggings. It's not 2012 Tumblr anymore. Like they have a shirt with like a mustache on it, or like they're wearing chevron and you can tell that this was written in 2014. In my mind, I just put them in a whole new outfit, literally in a whole new outfit. In my mind, I'm like, okay, this is what they're wearing. Like it doesn't bother me that much. But then again, if you get super duper like descriptive with the outfit, my mind will snag on it for a few pages. Small font. Why do we do this? I'm looking at you, Binding and Keeping 13. Like, I love those books so much. I think I would give like my left kidney for like even more books. Like I think I would do that. Do you have two? Yeah, you have two kidneys because like you can give a kidney to somebody. I couldn't just like give my one and only kidney. But why is the font so small? Like genuinely, when I opened that book for the first time, I was like, and I had opened the book and I was like, maybe this is like a my copy thing, because like why is the font so small? No, everybody talks about the font being so small. I don't know why the font is so small. Literally disgusting. Matte covers, okay, kind of bad. Because your fingerprints get on them, and like when you're like showing somebody the book and your fingerprints get on, like matte anything like with that material, like when a book has a matte cover, it feels soft and nice, but like fingerprints and just everything that gets smudged and left on that book, and the way that it feels when you like put it into a bookshelf next to like a book cover that doesn't have a matte cover, it just doesn't feel right. Constantly using the same phrase over and over. For example, blew a raspberry. Literally, I'm looking at you, Sarah J. Maas. You always saying vulgar gesture. Why are we like? I don't. I noticed that upon my reread of Asimov and Akabor that they like literally probably like every 10 pages it's like vulgar gesture, vulgar like. Yeah, I don't get it either. When people lick their finger to turn the page, people do this. Don't ever speak about this to me. If people actually out in the world, like I know people would like go like this to like count money. That doesn't really bother me. Like flipping a page like that, I do feel like I could be that dramatic in my life though. When a book in the series has different colored pages than the rest of them, I'm going to say, okay, kind of bad, because I feel like that would bother me. Like say I was holding them all and you saw like all the pages, but like when I put a book on the bookshelf, I'm not showing the pages. I feel like this is something my brain would snag on for like a few minutes and then I would never think about it again. Long chapters. Why do we do this? Why do we do this? Genuinely, especially since right now I'm reading the Naturals and those chapters are literally so short that I feel like I'm getting through like 10 chapters in like an hour, 50 chapters in an hour, me trying to like up the dramatics. I'm like, that wasn't dramatic enough, Destiny. You gotta up that. Oh my god, like I think one time, if a chapter's like 15 pages, it's painful. When he growls, kind of bad. I feel like this is something that, like, when I read it and it was like he growled, I'm like, but what does this mean? Did he go like no? Like, did he go no? Like, did he do that? Did he do that? Did he look at her and go no? I think I'd piss my pants. Genuinely, I think I'd be scared to death if we're arguing. He's like no. I'd be like, I would start praying. Genuinely, kids that talk like they're 40. Why do we do this? Why? Because, like, I notice this a lot, and sometimes I don't get it because I do spend a lot of time around a 3-year-old. I think there was a book I was reading the other day, and somebody, like, the kid was like 3 or 4, and speaking like full intellectual sentences that like 7th graders can't even talk in. Like, 7th graders don't even talk like that, and this kid's 4. They're talking like they have a PhD. Books that aren't floppy at all, literally, yeah, okay, kind of bad. Because if a book isn't floppy, I will literally just go read it on my Kindle, or literally go buy a Kindle version of it, or like read it somewhere else, because I can't hold a book that's not floppy. It genuinely cringes me out. Gen Z slang. Why do we do this? And again, I feel like this is a thing with the young adult books that I'm reading, especially newer young adult books. What was it? Like Riz. I don't even really like using Gen Z slang that much. Like, yeah, I use slay a lot. Yeah, I say slay when authors don't put the chapter number. Why do we do this? Why? Like, I've read a few books where it'll just be like, I don't even know what they said, like, or they'll just put like the name of the chapter instead of like the number, or they'll just be like, just put a little asterisk and say there's not even really chapters. I'm like, how am I supposed to know like where I'm at in the book? Like, somebody's like, oh, how far are you into that book? You're like, oh, I mean, I'm on chapter 10, but you look and you go, I'm on Friends Don't Look at Friends That Way. Page 70, you know what I mean? But maybe you just like care about the page numbers. But yeah, whenever there's no chapter numbers, I'm like, pregnancy trope. I'm gonna say not that bad, because honestly, it doesn't bother me that much, because if it's a huge part of the book, then it's usually like in the splurb on the back. The blurb. Why did I say splurb? The blurb on the back of the book, that's going to be like something that happens. But usually, like, I won't really read those books, but even if I do, I don't really care. I like went into it knowing that that's going to happen. But like, if it happens, it usually happens towards the end of the book, so I'm okay with it because the book's almost over anyway. And rarely ever does it make it where I like put the rating down because of it. And sometimes I think it's a fun little addition to the book. I don't really mind it that much. People on the cover, why do we do this? And cartoon covers are different because they're not real people. But like, can you imagine if I like went out in public and I just had like a shirtless guy on the cover being like, and people are like, what is she reading? You know, it's just not a look that I want to go about. It's not. I don't know why we do this. I don't know why publishers like, you know what would do this story justice? Let me see that. You know what would do the story justice? Bring it in here. A guy on the cover, but make him shirtless and make him do a little pose. Isn't that fun? No. Miscommunication. Don't ever. Miscommunication is my least favorite trope of all time. There's only been like a few instances in a book where I'm like, okay, I get it. I get where they're miscommunicating. I get it. And this isn't bothering me that much. Last one. Book sleeves. Not that bad, because when I'm reading a hardcover book, I simply just take off the book sleeve. Okay, guys, this is what our tier ranking list is looking like. I didn't put a whole lot of things. I was trying to like stick to new ones that maybe I didn't talk about in my last video, but then I forgot about what I talked about in my last video, then I didn't want to watch the last video, so this is what you guys got. Take what you want out of that. Alright, guys, well, that's what I have for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you guys did, you guys know what to do. Like, comment, subscribe, all the YouTube stuff that you guys know how to do. I've been working on quite a few reading vlogs, so get ready for those in the near and dear future to your sweet little souls. And I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. I hope you guys enjoy these sit-down videos. I try to make them fun and enjoyable for you guys while I'm trying to film these longer videos. So if you like them, feel free to let me know, because my self-confidence could always use a boost, because I'm always putting it down, so I would appreciate that. But thank you guys so much again for watching today's video. I love each and every single one of you guys that are watching today, even if you're not subscribed, even if you probably think I'm annoying. I agree with you, so I love you even more for that. Anyway, I'll see you guys when I see ya. Peace.